Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming, everyone that's here, and thank you very much for watching. I'm Milo, and I'm part of Team Galaxy, and we're here with the Samsung Galaxy AI Hype Labs with Adrien, who is a professional skimboarder. Amazing. But what does a professional skimboarder do?
Okay, so my name's Adrien, and I'm a professional skimboarder, as Milo mentioned. And skimboarding, a lot of you may know it as the sport, well, not really a sport, but the thing that maybe tourists will do at the beach. Small wooden board, running around, throwing it, and sliding a couple meters. That is the basis and the starting of skimboarding, but it developed into a legitimate sport with amazing athletes. So it can be done on waves, so you can skimboard into a wave, ride the wave, and it looks a little bit like surfing. And then there's also a more, let's call it technical skateboard style, which is more what I do. So that is skimboarding you can skimboard on ramps and rails and treat it a little bit like skateboarding. And then you can also take it into urban areas and unconventional areas, which is really what I focus on, especially with my content. So I take my skimboard and I'm going to ride it. I'm going to use it on fountains, across canals. Basically go all over the world and skimboard in unconventional and unique places.
Amazing. I mean, as someone that is basically from the southwest of England, grown up in the fields, moved to London, skimboarding facilities aren't necessarily massively available. How did you get into this sport?
I mean, I tried it for the first time as a tourist in France, actually, and I just tried it out. And I realized, like, well, this is really cool, but I didn't know much about it. So I went back home, I checked online, and I saw that the pros, they were doing backflips, they were doing all sorts of crazy jumps and tricks. And I was like, wow. I told my mom, like, I'm going to do this one day. She told me, like, nah, you're crazy. You're not going to manage to do that. That's too much. And then I found a group of people. I was maybe 13, they were 18, 19, and they were like the cool guys, the surfer boys, let's say. And they kind of babysitted me. They took me to the competitions, and I did a little bit of that. And then I won some titles, 4 times European champion. And then, yeah, I just continued doing it.
Minor thing.
Minor. Yeah. And then now I just kind of developed it into finding different ways to use that skimboard that no one has done before.
Amazing. So, somewhat of a maverick, very humble European champion. We love to see it. And tell me a little bit more about how the wearables, how Samsung, the Galaxy Watch Ultra has helped you with the sport.
I think the first point is the fact that I'm able to actually take it out there because it's very durable, it's waterproof, dustproof, and often the environments I go into, a lot of water, a lot of sand, a lot of dust, and very, you know, if I'm riding on a fountain as well, very shallow water, concrete, and if I fall, you know, the glass most likely will, you know, so it's durable enough for me to actually take it out there. And then also, you know, the features, heart rate and everything. It's important for me to measure these factors and, you know, see what I'm doing, pretty much.
Amazing. I mean, when it comes to these kind of things, obviously you're traveling around the world. You're doing, as you said, you're doing it in fountains. You're doing it in the sea. Where's the favorite place that you've kind of got in your mind about the best place you've ever skimboarded?
So the best place I've been to was a couple months ago. It's called Salar de Uyuni. It's the biggest sole flat in the world. And I think I have to show you a video of this because, let me pull up my Instagram, because it's very hard to describe, but it is basically, oh, here it is. This is one video. Oh, sorry. So this would be
Great soundtrack as well.
Yeah, sorry, great song. One of the best.
Amazing. And when it comes to, obviously, you're doing these kind of travel trips, obviously, there's not going to be a corner shop near you on the salt flats. So how do you kind of prepare for those things? And I take it that having like a battery life that is 4 days long is super important when it comes to that.
Yeah, so in the past, actually, I maybe made the mistake of never preparing too much. The phone's always out of battery, and sometimes we run out. But, 4 days, somewhere like the Salt Flats, very remote. We don't always have access to electricity and places to charge our devices. I think it's, the battery life is very important for being able to keep it on our missions.
Of course. And I think when it comes to, obviously, skimboarding, like, I've only ever seen it in Cornwall, and I think a lot of UK people just associate it with holidays. But I take it there's different levels of it. There's, as you said, like there's freestyle and doing backflips and things that seems so foreign to me. So are there kind of different types of skimboards?
Have you tried skimboarding before? You've never tried?
I mean, we're going to try a little variant in a bit. We're going to see how we do. But I've never tried it, and I don't know if I want to, depending on how today goes. But I'm sure you're going to show me the ropes. But what's the kind of freestyle do you do?
So I do something called Flatland skimboarding. So that is, at the core, it's riding your board and having DIY ramps and rails. So it looks a lot like skateboarding. So we have all sorts of ramps, and we go towards these ramps and we perform skateboard-like tricks. And that is what the competition aspect is around. So you get judged on what tricks you do and how stylish it is. But right now I'm really focusing on the urban skimboarding side. So that is going into, let's say, a fountain, discovering a fountain that already exists that is not built for skimboarding, and then using my creativity to make it a skimboardable spot. So for example, a fountain at King's Cross has different levels, stair sets with water, so I could go jump down the stairs and stuff like that. So really getting inspired by skateboarding and urban sports, which I think is very cool because skimboarding normally is really done only at the beach. And the way I do it, I'm able to bring it to the cities and also inland places. So I really try to push the message that skimboarding can actually give you access to water sports away from the beach. So in urban areas or in remote areas that are nowhere near the beach, which I think is quite rare for water sports.
For sure.
Surfing. I would have loved to surf as a kid, but I never really lived close to where waves are. So
I can't surf. I'm not going to try to today.
It's true.
But I think obviously when it comes to like being an athlete, which you are, and successful European champion, a lot of that comes down to looking after your body, making sure that you're not getting injured all the time, and basically recovering, taking time for rest. And how do you use the health score within Samsung AI to kind of improve your performance?
I think the way I use it is the fact that I have access to it, because I never pay too much attention to my sleep and my sleep quality, because you can't track that, by yourself. So the ability of having a health score, and I believe my health score, is, it's a great song, right? I believe it is at, let me find it, 70.6. So that is
better than mine.
Energy score?
I got a sleep score last night of 51, which is 3 hours
3
and 53
hours
minutes.
Okay.
There's some optimizing
Sleep
to be done.
score, 83 sleep score.
Okay.
Considered good. 8 hours, 38 minutes.
Slay.
It's great. It's great.
I can't say that. I did use, I went for a run this morning and used it for that, and obviously heart rate is a massive factor when it comes to kind of different zones of training. As people are watching this, they're a runner, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, are all metrics that we use. So having the capabilities to see that in the app and then use that for your recovery has been massive for me. I went and did about 22K this morning, and being able to do, you don't need to do that. But being able to do that is massive for like the GPS. Obviously, you don't want to be kind of jumping around on the map. So making sure that it's accurate and also your training is being logged correctly so that when it comes to recovery, you are actually basically getting the most accurate data possible. It's massive. But we're going to test the watch. It is waterproof. Obviously, you've used this before, but we have a little tank here, which is missing some fish, but we're going to put a watch in instead.
Okay.
And we're going to test it out. So
Let's try it out.
yeah, let's try it out.
Let's see. I just dunk it?
Dunk it.
Let's do it. Ooh.
Do it.
The water's hot too. Let's see.
Beautiful.
Does it still work?
Let's see.
You ready?
Oh. Hey. Done it. Woo! Amazing.
Sweet. Amazing.
We've tested out the capabilities of the watch. Now we're going to actually see the capabilities of Adrien.
Pressure's on.
With the magic balance boards and the incapabilities of myself.
Oh, you got it. I'm going to teach you.
So let's give us a show first and tell us like what we're looking at here.
So this is a balance board. This is not what I do as a sport, but I do use balance boarding as a training for my sport, as it's a very good tool to improve your balance and coordination, and it's good core training too. I think you've used a little bit in the past, some variants of the balance board.
Yeah.
So it's pretty simple. You just get on and then you balance.
Woo!
And you hold your balance. And normally you can also do a couple tricks like here, standing on 2 feet, and put 1 foot out.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Oh, you got it. I'll teach you. Oh, let's see if I can do something else. Little 180. Ooh. Let's try to shove it. So wait, woo.
Ooh.
So this is actually, I'm going to try to shove it where the board spins 180 and I jump up. This is a very common trick in skimboarding. It's way harder on this, but let's see if I can do it. I missed it. Let's try it again.
There it is. Yeah, you're not seeing that from me at all.
You could maybe give it a quick go.
We'll give it a whirl.
Balancing, maybe.
When it comes to this, would you say like the main, I'm going over here so I can hold on to this. Would you say the main important thing is kind of like core, or is it balance?
I think it's balance. So core, it can be core if you do, let's say you can also use it as a bit of a trainer and then do squats on it, or push-ups and stuff like this. But I think otherwise it's just like coordination and balance and how to use your hips and.
Okay.
So if you.
Hey.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not going to try a 360.
Oh, but you're doing great.
Or shove it. Is it shove it?
Shove it.
Oh,
wow, no, but you're really holding it good.
My heart rate's probably very high. Yeah, it is. It's really high. We're going to do a little bit of workout in a minute, just to kind of show you on the watch what that kind of looks like. I'm probably going to leave my talents at the door there.
I think you did great. I think you did amazing.
Do you know your current heart rate after that?
Oh yeah, it's pretty high. 130.
Woo!
Which I think is a bit high.
I'm at 98.
Uh-oh.
Which is
embarrassing.
Quite high for me, though. That's just public speaking.
Same.
We're going to try a little workout to see how high we can get the heart rate. Oh, it's actually already at 100. This is great. I'm getting really nervous about this. We're going to do 10 burpees, 10 push-ups. We could nominate someone, but we're not going to. We're just going to do it. We're going to start at 102. What are you at?
It's 126.
Okay, bosh.
Okay.
Let's give it a go.
Could you remind me what a burpee is?
Let's show you what a burpee is.
Okay,
burpee is very simple.
I need a demonstration.
Now, there are probably people that are going to call me out for improper form about burpees, but I don't care. I'm going to ignore you. But it's essentially a push-up. We jump up, and we jump up again. Some people may say, clap.
Clap.
We're not going to clap today. There's already enough clapping about. We're going to do 10 of them, and then we're going to go straight into push-ups.
Okay.
We're going to see what these say. Mine's already jumped up 10 beats per minute, which is great. 6 calories done. So
there you go.
Easy day in the office.
That's breakfast there.
Ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. 1. 2. 3. Oh. Oh, my. Oh. Tech. I've got more distance to travel. 10?
Was that 10?
I don't know. Anyone counting?
I think we're good. So push-ups?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo!
There you go. That was great.
Great stuff. Woo!
Let's see.
We're at
148. That definitely jumped up a little bit.
I'm 150.
150? Oh, you know what? 153. Still going up.
She's just come back online.
Yeah. Wow.
That was good. I'm actually knackered now. Whew. Right, thank you guys so much for the support on that. Now it's really coming down to questions from you guys about the watch. Sorry, let me catch my breath. Also, questions to Adrien. We'd love to know a little bit what you guys think about skimboarding, any questions that you have. So, without further ado, who has something to ask? Great, I'll just come over here to start with. Sorry, what's your name, sir?
Hi, my name's William. Let's ask Adrien. So what's the furthest you've ever skimboarded?
So skimboarding, you can, sorry, I'm catching my breath. So if you slide on shallow water, so water that's about this deep, you can slide, I would say like 60 meters, very far. But there's also something I do, which is sliding across canals or rivers. That is in deeper water, where the board doesn't float, so it's really like based on how fast you can run. And I think I'm going to try to show you the video. I think, did my record. That's the wrong phone.
That's my one.
Sorry about that. Which is, it was about 30 meters, I believe. Let me find it. It's tricky, though. It's not...
Do weather conditions play like a factor?
A little bit, especially wind. So the boards are quite light, and you're running with the board and throwing it. So if there's a lot of wind, then the wind is going to catch the board, and it's going to up flying away. So let me first show you, and then I can... So this was probably the furthest I've... So that is... Yeah. So this was very true. I'll maybe show the camera real quick to...
Pretty far.
Yeah, this was pretty far. It was included, it was a lot of running and balance, let's say.
Thank you. Our next question, who's got one? Come down to you, miss.
What's the best advice you would give to someone who wants to try skimboarding?
My best advice is to try at the beach, so somewhere that's safe, because skimboarding may look inoffensive because it's, you're just sliding on a small wooden board. But falling, you're going to fall. You're definitely going to fall, and sand is not always, or I mean, like if you do it in a fountain like I do it, you're really going to get hurt. So to try at the beach and then start slow and not be discouraged by falling the first few times, because everyone falls. And a lot of people give up after falling because the sport, when you see it, it looks quite simple. You're basically just running, you throw the board and you jump on. But it's actually a lot trickier, and there's a lot of nuances. So I think just not giving up when you fall the first times.
Amazing. Who has another one?
Hi.
Hi.
If you could skimboard with any celebrity, who would you pick and why?
Wow.
It's a good one.
Let me think. I never thought of this one. Maybe Jason Momoa? That'd be great. Don't ask me why, but just I think he'd be a good skimboarder.
I think Yusa had a question just behind.
What is the best country to skimboard?
The best. Honestly, I would say London could be pretty good, but just in terms of like the fountains, there's some very, very good fountains, but unfortunately it's not like very permitted to do so. I think that would be a good one. Otherwise, the Netherlands has a lot of good places to skimboard in terms of fountains. Otherwise, if you want to ride waves on beaches, then California in the United States is probably the best. A lot of waves and a lot of skimboarders as well, so there's a big community there.
Unreal. And a few more questions, I think. Sorry, I think you've had your hand up for a little bit.
This is a question for both of you. There's so many wearable products that track sports and fitness. What is it about this specific wearable that stands out?
For me, it's the durability aspect. So the fact that it's, the waterproof, also scratch resistant is very important for me because I do fall a lot. I smash them, so the fact that it's so durable and, it handles dust as well. And I'm always in these environments which are like not at all suitable for electronics. So the fact that it's the most durable it can be, that's for me the most important point. Yeah,
and I think for me, when it comes to my style of training, I come from more of like a bodybuilding background and running, like you said, A to B. I do a lot of track sessions, and a feature that is really important to me is basically making sure the GPS is really accurate, number one, but also being able to program workouts within the watch. So I don't want to run with my phone on me because it's just going to be jumping up and down. Watch, I can program in every single interval of my session on here. And the battery life is so much better than anything that I've ever used. I used it this morning, all basically for like 3 hours, completely like using GPS, and it's basically not dropped at all. So for me, those are the kind of two biggest things when it comes to wearing a good wearable, and as well, like you said, durability. Like, I may not be getting wet as often as you, but I'm getting sweaty. So
I mean, it does rain
also,
a lot. So.
Yeah, salt water. It's also important. But yeah, any more questions? You said front.
I'm Lamar. Adrien, how do you think, if you haven't already, you use the auto-zoom feature in your next video?
Sorry, one more time?
How do you think, if you haven't already, that you use the auto-zoom feature on the watch in your next video?
The auto zoom. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to use this feature, so I wouldn't really know at this point.
Any other questions? Right at the back. Give me a second.
Sorry, another watch question. I just wondered how it feels like to sleep in and wear compared to other wearables.
To sleep in it? I slept in it last night. First of all, it was on 4% when I went to bed, and it was still on in the morning, so that was great. It was comfortable. I didn't really, I mean, at first I noticed it a bit, but then after I slept great. I got my 8 hours, 38 minutes sleep.
Yeah, I did.
Great score.
I think for me, like, I'm definitely someone that doesn't really like having anything that I don't need on my body when it comes to sleep. I want to kind of remove those distractions. So for me, it doesn't even feel like I'm wearing anything. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that falling asleep should be a process that isn't interfered by anything. So that is the biggest thing. It doesn't feel like anything, and that's a win for me. At the back, so again.
Hello. I was just wondering if either of you use there's health and wellness tips that are in, I think it's on the phone, but it connects to the watch, and if they come in handy for like what you do professionally and obviously like for workouts and things.
For sure. This is actually a good question for me. I have, like you said, the health and wellness tips are amazing because as someone that trains a lot, overtraining is a massive factor that can lead to a huge plummet in both physical health but also mental health. And avoiding that kind of cliff edge is something that I will do everything to get through. So having the data to be able to use from the phone, the health data to say, look, you need to take a break, you need to have some rest, has been absolutely massive for me when it comes to taking that training day, listening to your body and basically not ignoring all the signs. And sometimes it's just a number on the screen that can give you the visual clarification when it comes to that, to just be like, look, let's have a day off, that's fine. We need it.
Yeah.
Bang on.
No, I'm bang on, yeah.
So at the back, I believe.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, is there like a certain type of body composition that's most suited for skimboarding? Because with certain types of events, you might have to be more muscular, or maybe it might be better with a lower center of gravity.
Honestly, I don't think Jason Momoa would be a great skimboarder. I don't think he's got the right body type. I think in general, maybe a bit smaller, slim would be good. The board is quite small, so it needs to carry your weight, and you should be able to slide. But you know, one of the biggest parts in skimboarding is being able to sprint very fast. So I think I'm trying to figure out like the best skimboarders, how their body compositions are. I think many of them are quite small, not too big. But there's exceptions, of course. But I would say, I think you would have actually pretty good body composition for
World champ
skimboarding.
Coming.
There you go. Yeah, I think so. This is a question I never really thought about, so got me thinking. Not sure.
I know there was a couple more questions that everyone wanted to ask. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what's it like skimboarding on snow? I was just wondering.
On snow?
What's that like? What it's like?
On snow?
Yeah, on snow.
It's great. It's a lot of fun because also if you fall, it doesn't hurt as much. So that's a nice point. What's also very interesting about that is you can't really like stop or you can't turn. So I've done it in Switzerland last year and we were going down hills, but you really can't control the board at all. So I think that makes it kind of fun because you can just blast down a hill and then hope for the best. It's a bit like careless maybe, but yeah, it's fun. And you can do similar tricks than you can on water. It just slides a bit further. Actually, ice is even better ice slides, like you can slide forever on ice, like really forever. It's crazy.
I used to be a ski racer back in the day, and yeah, ice is not where you want to be landing.
Yeah,
that
that's true.
hurts.
That's true.
That hurts.
You're right. You're right.
Any more questions from you guys? Yes.
Yeah, hi again. What's been your best skimboarding experience?
Best skimboarding experience. I think when I went to Salar de Uyuni, the place I mentioned in the past, just before, so this giant salt flat, it's, for me, a place I always wanted to go to skimboard. It's very hard to get there. It's very remote, and there's a lot of planning behind it. And I just feel like it's probably the most beautiful place I'll ever see in the world. And just the fact that this place is perfect for skimboarding, for me, makes it that much more special. That there's just this insanely beautiful place that is perfect for my sport, and probably only that. Because there's not many things you can do on shallow water in terms of sports. So I think just the fact that I feel like that place is kind of made for skimboarding. So I think that's a big point.
Thank you. Anyone else? That's it. Well, I think, who here has never skimboarded before? Okay, basically most people. Who here is going to try it after today? Woo! There we go.
Yes.
That's it. Amazing. Well, that's basically all we've got time for today. So I just want to say thank you to everyone watching. Thank you for you guys that came. And also, if you want to find more about this, please do follow Samsung UK. Check out all the details in there. Follow Adrien, his socials. And thank you very much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon. Woo!